Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Academic Reading Class 4. Before we start our presentation, I would like to introduce our members. So the first is Luh Aryani, the second me, Durotul Latifah, and the third is Paramita Dewi F. So this presentation will be about the strategies for reading academic text. There are 3 stages. The first is before reading, the second reading or while reading, the third is after reading. The first is before reading. So before we read the text, we have to know the reasons for reading the text. And in this case, our group chose the personal qualities of a teacher. So why do we choose this text? Because first, we are interested about this topic because it is related to our subject. As we know that we are English education students, and therefore the topic about teacher is interesting for us. The second is that we want the background information about this topic. We wanted to tell information about the personal qualities of a teacher. The third is that we want to know what's the writer perspective. So as we know that the personal qualities may be different from one person to another person, so we are curious about the author perspective. So we choose this text. The next is before we start reading the text, we try to predict of what the text will be about. So after read the title and the headline, we think that the text will be about the personal qualities that are desirable in teacher and what personal qualities that teacher should possess, and of course the explanation of those what is the personal qualities in a teacher. The next that before we read the text, we try to think, we try to reflect ourselves what we already know about this topic. So as far as we know, we think that the best teacher is a teacher that can be a great role model for his students or her students in many ways, such as in academic, in social relationship, in religion, etc. The next is what we would like to find out from the text. So after reading the text, what things or what ideas that we expect to have after reading the text. So we hope after reading the text we can get some points. The first is that we can know the points and the explanation of the personal qualities that teachers should possess. The second is about why teachers should possess these personal qualities and the implication and implementation of these personal qualities and how these personal qualities impacts in the teaching and learning process. That's what we expect from the text. Next, we have already jotted down some words or phrases that related to the topic. The first is character or personality. The second is about moral and attitude. Because we are in educational area, of course, it should be good one. The third is teaching the students. The fourth is social ability and hospitality, and friendly and intelligent. The next stage, is reading will be explained by Miss Luh.
Okay, after we know the strategies before readings and academic texts, so let's jump to the what are strategies that we can do while we read an academic text. Yeah, especially apply the strategies in the academic text with the title, with the same title with Miss Durotul. Yeah, personal qualities for a teacher. Okay, the first strategies that we have to do while we read an academic text, that is, we have to survey the text. Yeah, uh, how to survey the text? Yeah, we have to do this two things. The first is read the first and the last paragraph on that text, and the second is read the first and the last sentence in each paragraph from that text. Yeah, let's jump to the first strategies, that is read the first and the last paragraphs. Okay, when we read the first and the last paragraph from the text with the title Personal Qualities for a Teacher, so in the first paragraph, we can catch that the first paragraph is talk about personal qualities for a teacher, and introduction, why a teacher should have a personal qualities. And in the last paragraph from that text, we can catch there are words finally, and that word is referred to sequencing for several personal qualities that explained in that text. So, by read the first and the last paragraph from that text, we can catch the very general idea from that text. That is, uh, we will get a prediction that this text will discuss about what is personal qualities that teachers should have, and uh, and why teachers should have that personal qualities that have been explained in each paragraph. And after after done the first thing, that is read the first and the last paragraph, so the next strategies in a survey the text is read uh, read the first and the last sentence in each paragraphs. So um, when we read the first and the last sentence in first paragraph, we will get that the first paragraph is talk about small description about the general idea, and while we read the first and the last sentence in the second paragraph, it discusses about the next slide, Miss Dudu. Okay, yeah. Here we can see that by read the first and the last the first and the last sentence in first paragraph, we can get the main idea from the first paragraph, that is about the small description about the general idea, that is about what is how teachers should have a personal qualities uh, to teach their students. And in the second paragraph, after we read the first and the second sentence, the main idea that we can get is the second paragraph talk about the teacher's personality should be pleasantly live and attractive, and how it can be like that. And the main idea that we get by read the first and the last sentence in the third paragraph is this paragraph talk about it is essential for a teacher to have a genuine capacity for sympathy and capacity to be tolerant. And jump to the next slide. Yeah. In the fourth paragraph, the main idea that we can get by read the first and the last sentence is, but intellectually and morally, honest, the teacher should have this uh, ability, and in the fifth paragraph, the main idea is a teacher must remain mentally alert. And in the sixth paragraph, the main idea is teacher must be capable of infinite patience. And in the last paragraph, the main idea that we can get by read the first and the last sentence is the teacher should have the kind of mind which always want to go on learning. So after we read the first and the last sentence from each paragraph, so we can get each main idea from each paragraph. And after it we collect those main idea into one general main idea. So by survey the text, by read the first and the last paragraph from each paragraph, first and last sentence from each paragraph, and get main idea and collect them in to create a general main idea. So we will get a very we will know what is each part talk about, and also it will help us to predict what will this text talk about. Okay. So what we will get from survey from these first strategies or by survey the text, the first, we can know how close were our prediction about this text. Oh, and by apply these strategies and read the academic text that with the title is personal qualities for a teacher. So first we can know how close our prediction about this text. That is, this text will guide us in what should we consider when in the future we will become a teacher. And after from this text, there is personalities that teachers should have. And the last, by survey the text, we can get the understanding about the different part are about by read the first and the last sentence in each paragraph, so we can know what is the different part are about. Yeah. Actually, in the second from the second paragraph to the last paragraph, each part is describe what is each personalities that teachers should have, like that. Okay, jump to the next slide. So by survey the text, we also can it also can give us advantages. That is, we can know what is the purpose of our reading. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, after survey the text, the second strategies that we have to know that we have to do while we're reading an academic text is we have to know what is the purpose of our reading. Yeah. sometimes in reading an academic text, we have two purposes. The first purpose is we want to know what is the whole text talk about, and the second purpose is we just need to know or need some information in some parts. For example, um, when we know when we know when we want to know what is the whole text about, what is the personal qualities for a teacher text talk about, so we have to do the first strategies, that is survey the text. It can be read the first and the last paragraphs, and after that read the first and the last sentence in each paragraph. But when we want to when our purpose in reading and text is only to get some specific information from some part only. So, for example, like this, uh, we uh, we get a question. We get some question like, what is the main idea from the second paragraph? So we don't need to read the first paragraph first. We just only need to uh, jump to the second paragraph, and after that read the first and the last paragraph, and after that get what is the main idea from the second paragraph. But we don't need to read the first or the third paragraph when we want to know about the specific information in the second paragraph, like that. So when we read, when our purpose is want to know the whole, what is the whole text talk about. So in the text, personal qualities for a teacher, uh, we can get that there is explain about what is the personal qualities that teachers should have, and 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 why teachers should have their that personal qualities. And after that, when we survey the text, so we have the second purpose, that is know what is specific information from each uh, some some parts. For example, like when we survey the text, we only read the first and the last sentence from each paragraph. So it related with the second purpose, that is need that is reading a text for catch specific information uh, about some parts in that text, like that. Okay, the next is after we survey the text, while we're reading, after we survey the text, and after that, knowing what are our purpose in reading that text, and after that, so let's write down in one or two sentences about the important point. I'm sorry, about the important point that we get while we're reading the text. For example, like we can see the slide. While we're reading this text, personal qualities for a teacher. So, uh, so the first we can write that this we can write that some we so let's write in two sentences. The first sentence is some personal qualities the teacher should have, and the second sentence is what is the importance of qualities and why teachers should have these qualities. So and after that, give your reason. What is your reason when you read this text? For example, it's like that. For example, is like this. When I read the title and first paragraph of this text, my reason is, I would like to be, a good teacher. So I have to consider with these qualities. Yeah. So while we read a text, we have to write down what is the important information from the text. For example, it's like this. This text is talk about the some personal qualities for a teacher, and after that, what is personal qualities for a teacher that we should have, and give our reason when we read this text. It can be when we read the title, first paragraph, and the other part. Okay, next. Okay, the next is, yeah, next, Miss Durotul. Yeah. After we read a whole text, and get the information from that text, so the last strategies that we have to do is write down what are important points, what are important information that we get from this text, and make it in the mind map. So it will help us to like make a summary about the important points from this text. Yeah, from the academic text with the title Personal Qualities for a Teacher. So the mind map is like this. Teacher personal qualities. Because this text is describe what are the personal qualities that teacher should have. So let's write down what are the personal qualities that teacher should have. The first is like be patient and have capacity to empathy and capacity to tolerate to our students, and and be intellectually and morally honest, and have mentally alert and wants to go on learning, and personally live and be attractive teacher, like that. uh, by 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 making a mind map, so it will help us in uh, recalling our memory about the important point from this text, what this text talk about. Okay, next is, okay, the last strategies while we're reading an academic text is about the vocabulary. Yeah, let's do a second more careful in reading, making any new words that are important for our understanding. Okay, about the vocabulary, sometimes we will, sometimes when we read academic text, so we will find a new words, a new vocabulary for us. The first strategy is, if an approximate meaning is enough, try to guess what the meaning using word function, context, and word form. If the exact meaning is needed, so we can use a dictionary or maybe ask to another students or our friends or our teacher, like that. Okay, for the example, in the first we have two sentence, and we have in the first sentence we have vocabulary stagnant, and we probably do not need, or we can think without looking up for the dictionary for the word stagnant. We can get the clue from the next phrase, that is, in the phrase that means to deteriorate intellectually. This phrase, if something ends up worse, in this case, deteriorate. So the word stagnant must be have meaning negative. It may be to be decreased or to be terminated intellectually. And another example in the second sentence, we have a word resilient in the second sentence. We can guess the meaning of the word resilient by relating into the previous sentence as clues. At where it is said, a teacher must be capable of infinite patience. Then author emphasized that the infinite patience is related to the self-discipline and self-training, because nobody burned like that with infinite patience. Here, we can guess that if nobody born with infinite passion, then he must be resilient. He must have a huge level of passion, the one who are really, really, really passionate. Okay, that's the strategies that we can use when we want to know what is the meaning from this some word, some vocab that we already find in this text. Okay, the next is related with the vocabulary. The previous explanation about how to guess the meaning from the new vocab that we don't understand before, and after that related to the vocabularies is write the new vocab that we find in this academic text. For example, in the word in the text personal qualities for a teacher, let's the new vocab for me is like this: frigid, cynical, straight, attractive, sympathy, innumerable, honest, overbearing, melancholy. So first, write down those vocab, and after that, guess the meaning, and write down what is the definition from this vocab. So it will help us in understanding what is the sentence talk about, and help us understanding what is the information on the text. And sometimes when we find this vocab in the other text, so we already know what is this text mean. Okay, that's about the vocabulary.
Okay, the next is about difficult sentences. So in the text entitled "The Personal Qualities of a Teacher," we have analyzed the text and find some difficult, or not difficult, but like some terms. They are reference, connectives, and markers. As you can see in the slide, that the underlined words represent the references, the italic words represent the connective, and the red represent the markers. So the first is about the reference. Let's take a look of the underlined word. For example, this one. The word this in this sentence represents this one. So we have to connect, or we have to refer this reference with the previous sentences. First, the teacher personality should be pleasantly live and attractive. So the word this refers to being pleasantly live and attractive. Another reference is it and that in this sentence. All the word that is underlined represents the references. And next is about the connectives. We can take a look the words that is italic type. The first is but, and there is and, because, or. So the connective functions as to connect the words within the sentence, or the phrases within the sentence, or one sentence to another sentences, or one paragraph to another paragraph. For example, this one, secondly. So the word secondly is a connective. It connects the previous paragraph, the second paragraph, to the third paragraph. And the ones or the phrases with the red fonts represent the markers. So it represents the opinion of the author. So this is about the first until fourth paragraph. Next is from the fifth until seventh paragraph. Same as the previous slide, it's talk about the references, connectives, and markers. The underline words are the references, the italic are the connectives, and the red type are the markers. So here are the example of the connectives, and on the other hand, so it represents the contradiction. So the fifth paragraph should be contradict with the sixth paragraph, because the connective is on the other hand. It represents the contradictive connection between two things. And the markers is like I think, and here I should, stress, etc. And for the reference, for example, the word he here represents the teacher. It based on the previous sentences. A teacher must remain mentally alert. He will not get into the provision if blah blah blah. So the word he represents the teacher. Next is about the complex noun phrases. From the text entitled The Personal Qualities of a Teacher, we found two examples. The first, the sentence, there is no contradiction in my going to say that a teacher should be a bit of an actor. Here our group thinks that the phrase my going on to say is a little bit difficult to understand. So we think that we can use the other way to say my going on to say. So it becomes there is no contradiction in my next statement in that teacher should be a bit of actor. So this sentence is more understandable than this one. The second example is he should be able to take in his stride the innumerable petty irritation any adult dealing with the children has to endure. So the phrase, the innumerable petty irritation, is a little bit difficult to understand, or it is complex. So we can use another way to write it or to say it by the small annoyance. So it becomes, and he should be able to take the small annoyance that have to endure by the adult dealing with the children. The next is about the sentence with the subject, verbs, and objects that go together. We found this example. The two cardinal principles of British education today are that education is education of the whole person, and that is best acquired through full and active cooperation between two persons, the teacher and the learner. See, this sentence is not good. This sentence is like confusing, right? So we think that we can revise or we can use the other structure to be more understandable by the reader. So we can say, nowadays there are two cardinal principles of British education. First, education means education of the whole person. Second, as the consequence, education is the best acquired by full and active cooperation between the teacher and the learner. So this revision is more understandable than the original example. So in understanding the text, we have to, or we can use our, we can use the simpler or more understandable sentence to replace the original so that we become easy to understand the text. The next stage will be presented by Paramita.
Now we go to the last stage called after reading. The next slide, please. There are two activities that we need to do in the after reading. The first is listing of the new words. Make a list of the new words which we think will be useful for ourselves in the future. Well, in our opinion, there are 4 new words. First is overbearing. Overbearing belongs to the adjective. The meaning of it is harshly and haughtily arrogant. It does rule out such type as over excess, melancholy, so cynical, and of superior soul. Now we go to the last stage called after reading. The activity of the after reading is first, next slide please, list of the new words. Make a list of the new words which we think will be useful for ourselves in the future. We have 4 new words in here. First is overbearing. Overbearing belongs to the adjective, which means harshly and haughtily arrogant. It does rule out in the sentence. It occurs in the sentence. It does rule out such types as the over, excitable, melancholy, rigid, sarcastic, cynical, frustrated, and overbearing. The synonym of it is arrogant, which belongs to the adjective. The other form is arrogance. The second is fertility. It belongs to the noun. The definition is the quality or state of being frail, the fertility and immortality of human nature which induce, as the sentence that the fertility occur. The other forms of it is weakness, which belong to the noun, and the other form is weak. The third is deteriorate. Deteriorate belongs to the verb. The definition is to become worse. To deteriorate intellectuality is the sentence that the deteriorate occur. The synonym is degenerate, belongs to the verbs, and the other forms of it is degenerating. Word is improbable, belongs to the adjective, and the definition is unlikely to be true or to occur. It's occur in the sentence improbable and able to improvise. The synonym is impossible, which belongs to the adjective, and the other forms of it is impose. The next slide, please. The last stage is evaluate what we have read. In these sections, is like we have like evaluating our read. There are three questions that we have to ask with ourselves after we read. First is, how does it fit into what you already think and know? The article is very relevant to our field. It helps provide additional insight for us about the qualities needed to be a good teacher. That's our opinion about the article. The second is, does it confirm your ideas, add to them, or conflict with them? In our opinion, the article emphasizes our ideas about the various characters that a teacher must have, such as attractiveness, honest, sympathetic, and have a patience, and having the will to continuously learn is very essential. Being a teacher does not mean not being open to the existing of the new knowledge. However, they can learn, think critically, then receive new knowledge. The third is, if there are opinions, do you agree or disagree with them? In our opinions, we are agree with the article. A teacher must have attractiveness. And this term, attractiveness, is not only about the appearance, how we styling ourselves in proper way, but however, is about how the teacher can package material properly using interesting and fun learning methods so that students can understand the material they're being taught. The next slide, please. Well, this is our presentations about the article. I think it's enough. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.